Wonderful. So, the belief we exist in relationship and unity, chapter 11 of the second treatise. Christ in you is relationship. All right, guys, see you later. Christ in you is relationship. Wow, that's big, isn't it? Feel that one. As you were told within the pages of A Course of Love, you are being who exists in relationship. This is how you were created, and this, and how you remain. This is the truth of who you are, and even in your own terms, a fact of your existence. Earlier, this is not pointed out to you so that you would come to accept who you are, and so that you would extend forgiveness to yourself and all you hold responsible for this truth. This forgiveness is now extended in two distinct ways. First, in forgiving your Creator for creating you in such a way. And second, in forgiving a world that has taught you to want to be other than who you are. Wow, nice. Ah. God, I forgive you for creating me in such a way. That's pretty good, isn't it? And giving a world, I forgive the world that has taught me to want to be other than I am. Now, our aim is to show you how to integrate the belief that you are a being who exists in relationship into the living of your life. Even though you no longer want to be other than who you are, and even though you now have a much clearer understanding of who you are, you will find living as who you are in the world difficult as long as you perceive of others as living under the old rules. Wow. The world of man rather than the laws of God or love. It will seem all but impossible to live in relationship where those around you are still convinced of their relationship, of their separation, and still seeking to glorify it. You will still perceive of the world as operating under the laws of man. And as long as you perceive of the world in such a way, you will be forced to live by you'll be forced to live by its laws. this will cause struggle, and as you now know, that struggle of any kind alerts you to the presence of ego. You will continue to do battle with the ego rather than leaving it forever behind. Jesus, let me read it again. This will cause struggle, and as you now know, that struggle of any kind alerts you to the presence of ego. You will continue to battle with the ego, but you will continue to do battle with the ego rather than leaving it behind forever. Beautiful. Shall we do it according to Kevin's screen? Who is reading next?
Yeah, that's me. I'm next. We don't have many readers today, so if you want to read extra paragraphs, go ahead. Doing battle with the ego has become the preoccupation of many gifted and learned people. This is the classic battle revealed in all myths and tales of war and strife. It is the battle that in your imaginings has extended even to the angels. The ego is the dragon that must be slain, the evil of the despot to be toppled, one-on-one conflict of all heroes who would take sides and do battle. You are called to peace, a peace that begins and ends with ceasing to do battle with the ego. As the ego has been the known identity of your existence until now, it will, in a sense, be forever with you, much as the body that is your form will remain with you until your death. But while your perception of your body as your identity and your home has given way to the idea of it as a form that can be of service to you and your expression, there is no service the ego can do you. The ego is the one untruth, given many names and many faces, and the only thing given by you the power to do battle with the truth or with God. Remember now and always that you and God are one, and that what you invite to do battle with God, you but battle yourself. A God of love does not battle for truth, does not. A God of love does not do battle for truth, needs no protection. The truth is not threatened by untruth. The truth simply exists as love exists, and you exist. When we say something is, that is what it is of which we speak. When we say all truth is generalizable, all needs are shared, all knowing is shared. This is of what it is we speak. All cannot be threatening. No, all cannot be threatened by nothing. Samuel, you're next.
Is it 11.5?
Points 12.7, I think, is it? I can't see.
11,
11.7.
11.7.
Oh, okay. This is why we spent a fair amount of time addressing needs in a way we had not previously addressed them. For only with your understanding that all that is real is shared does the ego lose its power.
Mm.
The ego was made from the belief in separation and all that followed from it. Thus, your true identity must be recreated from the belief in unity that is inherent in the acceptance that you are being who exists. You're a being who exists in relationship. Separation is all that opposes relationship, and the ego is all that opposes your true identity. Yet, as has already been said, the ego, having been with you from your earliest remembering, will continue to be with you in the way that all learned behaviors and ideas are with you, until it is totally replaced by new learning. Learning thus must complement your new beliefs, the ultimate goal of this learning being the end of the need for beliefs at all. This learning then must be seen for what it is. It is the holiest of work and the final evidence of means and end being the same. Your devotion to this learning must now be complete. Your willingness total. Your way of learning that of mind and heart joined in wholeheartedness.
Alison, when you're ready.
Oh, okay. Realize that when you think that this total reversal of thought concerning yourself and your world will be difficult, you are listening to your ego. The Christ in you knows not of difficulty. How can it be that we speak both of the Christ in you and of Christ as being relationship itself? How can it be that we have spoken of Christ being both wholly human and wholly divine? These statements can only be true if there is no division between you and relationship. If there is no division between the human and the divine, separate things must still exist in relationship. This is the key to understanding the truth of these statements. For even while you have chosen separation, this choice did not preclude the existence of relationship, and it is in relationship that union still exists. If you had been able to choose separation without relationship, then the image of yourself the ego has put forth would have been a true image. But as life cannot exist apart from relationship, this choice was not available and did not overturn the laws of God. The ego is but your belief that this has occurred, that what could never be true has become the truth. So let us now, for the sake of continued learning, speak of separation in a new way. Let us speak of separation as a state that exists, rather than as a state that does not exist. If you exist as a separate being, but your being is contingent upon relationship for its existence, is this not the same thing as saying that you are a being who exists in relationship? Is this not similar to saying that a living human body does not exist without its heart? Is not what is essential to a living body a fact of that body's existence? While this illustration is not attempting to say that life does not exist apart from the body, it is attempting to reveal in an easily understandable way that there is a condition under which you are here and able to experience life as a separate being. That condition is relationship, and relationship is what keeps you forever one with your Creator. That's me.
Chantal?
Where did you finish, Alison?
We're up to 14.
Thank you.
Firstly, smile, and then we read.
Okay. Here, that relationship is being called Christ in order to keep the holiness and importance of this relationship forever and foremost in your mind. Here, that relationship has been given a name, as we have given your relationship with your separate identity the name of ego. Here, we are asking you to choose the one relationship and to vanquish the one unreal relationship. It is from these two separate ideas of relationship that the concept of doing battle has emerged. This concept of doing battle can only remain if you remain convinced that the ego is real. As long as you believe that the ego is real, you will feel as if there are two identities that exist within you, and you will see yourself as doing battle in countless ways and forms. There will never actually be a battle going on between Christ and the ego, but you will perceive that such battles exist. You will be prone to calling upon the Christ as your higher self to defend you against the ego self. This is highly akin to your former notion of prayer and assumes that there is something real that you need defense against or saving from. This is how the notion of Christ as Savior arose. This is the belief in a good self and a bad self, with Christ acting as conscience and defender of good, and the ego acting as devil and defender of evil. This is nonsense, or but a form of the insanity that is prevalent still, even in your thinking. You do not realize that this source of conflict is the source of all conflict that seems real to you within your world. This battle of good and evil, while you believe in it still, will be demonstrated before you, just as it has been from time immemorial.
Immemorial, yes.
Is this what you would have continue? Does this not but reveal to you a fraction of the power of your thinking and its ability to shape the world you see? An alternative to this insanity exists. The alternative is removing all faith from your belief in the ego self. The alternative is replacing belief in an ego self with belief in a Christ self. Total replacement. As long as you hang on to both identities, the world will not change, and you will not know who you are. You may think you know, and you may waste much time in perceived battles, valiantly fighting for good to win out over evil. But this is not the new way, and the lack of value from this type of effort can surely now be seen.
You can finish it off, Chantal.
I have said that the ego will remain with you as the identity you have learned since birth until you replace it with a new learning. While you have learned much here, you may be thinking that your ego is still very much with you and wondering if you have not yet replaced it, how this miracle will come about. This replacement is indeed a miracle, and the very miracle you have been prepared for within this course of learning. Beautiful.
I have found whenever I am identifying with ego, I start saying things like, I should do that, and I'm supposed to do this, and this supposed to and have to kind of says I'm in my ego trying to fix myself. You were supposed to believe this, and I'm supposed to do that, and I have to do it this way. Sound like, to me, it's like, oh, those are reminders. It's an ego thing.
Yeah.
We're accomplished.
Mm. 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 Very difficult to let go of this idea of good and evil. Oh.
And I do find that my you know, the prayer I use now is quite different from what it used to be.
Mm-hmm.
Like I used to, you know, ask for help, and you know, I assumed that what was going on around me was all very real from an egoic point of view. And now I'm much more prone to go to just that simple prayer I talked about last week or whenever it was. Here I am, just be present, and things change with it.
Mm. I feel like I'll have to give up my enjoyment in the fight. You know, I like that fight. I just want to keep that. It's because it would have been part of my identity, and I love it. Yeah. You know, I don't think I can let it go unless I really recognise that that's there. You know, like that's what I feel. It's suddenly coming into focus. This good that I've had this very strong belief in, you know, evil spirits, and you can be possessed and all this stuff. And I never saw it before, and I'm glad that I'm seeing it now. I didn't realise it was so entrenched in me. Yeah, like
Yeah,
just to believe that there's absolutely no evil out there. That's like what? It really is a revelation, and oh shit, I just didn't see it. Yeah.
yeah, it seems like a whole nother level. This is really very subtly powerful. I was kind of thinking, like, if I were able to walk around with, I don't know which ones, like it really is augmented reality or whatnot, like goggles on, and walk this earth kind of like that, and seeing each thing in front of me, you know, like an unstatic movie where I can choose at any time any one of the situations, you know, that's in front of me or that I'm encountering. And somehow it gives, like, if I think about it sort of that way, you know, like whatever life I'm seeing, experiencing, you know, as a individuated self, that somehow this gives me the perspective that I don't have to be sort of grabbed by it. It gives me the ability to see it differently, in that even though I'm a part of it, I'm just making choices in those moments. I'm not run by them, nor are they sort of real. It's kind of like putting on new wardrobes or new identities as I walk through this earth. And somehow that's really freeing to me. That lets go of my desire, at least at this moment, like for the battle. Like it lets go of the battle for me, in terms of, you know, me just making choices, like picking lessons. Like, oh, do I want to engage, you know what I mean, in this, whatever the situation is, that where there's a battle, or do I want to see it for, you know, sort of just another lesson? It takes the, I don't know, it's kind of weird. Like, even though this is about feelings and emotions, it takes the emotions out of the situations that I walk through. And that is really freeing to me, because I always take everything like personally and strong and, you know, feeling wise, and that way it's not just me saying it's not real, but that way it's me being able to make choices in the moment, from a very different perspective. I don't know if that makes sense, but yeah, thanks.
I think the next
Well, I was sort of thinking that
explained really well.
I was sort of thinking actually, like what you see around you is, or your reaction to what you see around you is showing you what you're valuing in that moment. And you kind of said the same thing, Annie, in a way.
Mm. Mm. Like when you really see that there's only the one thing, there is no choice, because that's it. Like, I think while we're still choosing, there's something to choose between. So there's still, you know, something else there that we're perceiving.
I think it's brilliantly explained in the next chapter.
Oh, great.
Of course it is.
Always.
It always is. Yeah.
Oh, well, Kim, you're next, so you can just take it away.
The belief, correction and atonement. Miracles are thoughts, and I am the corrector of false thinking.
Bingo.
You have been made ready for this correction, and your belief in correction or atonement is the final belief that must be put into practice.
There you go.
Yay. Miracles are a service provided through love. Your readiness for miracles has been achieved through the learning you have accomplished. Miracles cannot be used, and so your learning needed to include an ability to distinguish between service and use. Service or devotion leads to harmony through right action. Until you are able to distinguish the false from the true, you are not able to receive the power of miracles.
Wow.
Oh.
It's almost like that whole idea of resigning as your own teacher. And I keep hearing, you know, people say, hey, I've resigned as my own teacher. When you resign as your own teacher, there's going to be an experience that's going to just blow your mind. Because when you truly resign, there is an inner movement that takes place. And so if we say, I resign as my own teacher, and there is nothing happening, the day goes just like it normally goes. There's no resignation in that. And in that, you know, like Jesus says right there, miracles are thoughts, and I am the corrector of false thinking. So when we resign, truly resign, like truly resign, something else begins to move inside of us. I mean, that is the true us. Yeah.
The power of miracles is but the culmination and the integration of the beliefs we have put forth here. The miracle I am offering you here is the service I offer you
Mm-hmm.
the precursor of the service you will offer others. Miracles are intercessions. As such, they are agreements. They do not take away free will, but free the will to respond to truth. Oh. They are the ultimate acceptance of giving and receiving, being one in truth. They do not take away free will, but free the will to respond to truth. They are the ultimate acceptance of giving and receiving, being one in truth.
Are you finished, Kim?
Yes, thank you.
You are complete. Annie, you're next.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. While you continue to feel as if you do not understand miracles, you will be reluctant to believe in them or see yourself as a miracle worker. Your belief in miracles and your belief in atonement or correction are the same thing. While you believe there is anything other than your own thinking that is in need of correction, you think falsely. Right thinking is the realm of miracles. As with the learning goal being set here of going beyond belief to simply knowing, the learning goal in relation to the miracle is the same. It is one of going beyond belief in the miracle to simply knowing. Knowing is knowing the truth. Knowing is right thinking. Your return to knowing or right thinking is both the miracle and the end for the need of miracles.
Wow.
Whoa. I'll read that again. Your return to knowing or right thinking is both the miracle and the end for the need of miracles. Ooh. For as you live in the world as who you are, you become a miracle and the constant expression of a miracle.
Mm.
Yeah.
The power of thought and the power of prayer, once aligned, call constantly upon the same power of intercession that is the miracle. This is why we also devoted a fair amount of this treatise to a discussion of calling. Calling is not only something you receive, but something you must learn to give. As you have come to see calling as a gift and a treasure, as well as a learning device, so you must come to see your own ability to call forth intercession as a gift and treasure you are able to give in service to your brothers and sisters. I'll stop there.
Okay. I don't know if Andy or Tonka, if you're there and you want to read.
Hi guys, I'm not reading today. I'm listening.
Okay, thanks, Tonka. And Andy, you're not there to read? Nope. Okay, Coles, back to you.
Mm. Can you go on, Kevin? I'm just eating a banana.
Say again?
Just eating a banana. Can you take off?
If callings come to alert you to the treasure within, how can it be that you, as a miracle-minded being, are not called upon to also call forth the treasure that exists around you? When you call to those whom you meet in relationship, you call but to the already accomplished.
Mm. Wow.
I'll do that bit. When you call to those whom you meet in relationship, you call but to the already accomplished.
Mm.
There, between you and the other, whom you have previously only perceived, is the relationship and the miracle waiting to happen. As we spoke within a course of love, of relationship being not one thing or another, but a third something, this is what we speak of here again. If Christ is relationship, and if the Christ in you is the real you, then this all-encompassing relationship, both within you and without you, both you and all you are in relationship with, is that third something that is the holy relationship.
Beautiful.
Mm.
Mm.
This holy relationship is what you are called to cultivate as a gardener cultivates her garden. The gardener knows that although the plant exists fully realized within its seed, it also needs a relationship of the earth and water, light and air. The gardener knows that tending the garden will help it to flourish and show its abundance. The gardener knows she is part of the relationship that is the garden. A true gardener believes not in bad seeds. A true gardener believes not that she is in control. A true gardener accepts the grandeur that is the garden and finds it beautiful to behold.
This metaphor is akin to acceptance of the holy relationship. It is acceptance of what occurs with the joining of many factors, one no more important than another. While Christ in you has been compared to the seed of all you are, that you have had that what you have had revealed to you here is that the Christ is also the relationship of all that would bring the seed to fruition. The ego could be here compared to a gardener who believes that the seed alone is all that is important. As intently as this gardener might struggle to cause the seed to grow, without the relationship of earth and water, light and air, the seed would remain a source of struggle. The ego would hang on to what is already accomplished within you and never to let it express through a relationship all that it is. As valuable as the ego would tell you that you are, it still would thwart you being who you are through its denial of relationships, essential to that which you truly are. Who's next, Kev?
Samuel?
This cultivation then of all-encompassing holy relationship that exists within you and without you, both in all you are and all you are in relationship with, is how you are called to live your life and the call you are asked to sound to all your brothers and sisters. Let the beliefs we have set forth become one with you so that they enable you to live and express and act as who you are in every moment and in every circumstance. Let these abilities serve you and your brothers and sisters. Let this way of living be the expression of who you are and all that you now remember. Let this remembrance grow and flourish as the garden that is you. Recognize now that unity is within you and without you in all you are and all you are in relationship with. Feel the embrace and the love that is this unity, and know that it is you and me and your Creator and all that was created. The end.
Wow. Mm. Shall we squeeze in the final call? Let's go for it. Huh?
I think we have to.
Yes. Final call. Calling.
That's you, Alison.
Yep, the final call. The final call of this treatise is, in contrast to those put forth previously, a personal call from me to you.
Mm.
By now, you have seen that your fears of losing yourself to God were unfounded. By now, you have seen that your fears of losing yourself to God were unfounded. By now, you have seen that yourself does not need to stand separate and alone in order to be fulfilled under the mantle of individuality. You have been told to put on a new mantle, a new identity. What does this mean? Now that you have been made ready, I am ready to return you to yourself. Now that you have been made ready, it is time for us to have a personal relationship. We have, within these lessons, taken you far from your personal self, and I, as your teacher, have all but discounted the personal self I experience in relationship with you. Now in unity, we are ready to be personal again. While the personal self is the subject of the next treatise, this is my invitation to you specifically to enter into a holy and personal relationship with me specifically.
Oh my God, beautiful.
While you are here,
Yeah.
while you are here, you have a persona. While this persona is no longer an ego self, but a Christ self, it is still a persona. This is the you who laughs and loves and cries and shares with friends in a world now different than the one you once perceived. I know of this world and I am here to guide you through it. I, too, am friend to you. Wow. Oh.
Isn't that beautiful? My God.
Yeah.
Mm.
Wow. I know of this world and I'm here to guide you through it. I too am friend to you. It really hit me because I don't have many friends here. Just like I have a very narrow life. It's me and my mum and this group and my gardening group, and that's sort of it, really. And lately I've been feeling this sort of, I've been thinking about friends and how I'd like more. And it sort of hit me on a personal note there.
Yeah, got a friend down there.
Yeah, and I know this, and I've known it again and again, but I forget.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's closer than your breath, hey?
Yeah.
Mm. And it's again, it comes back to like feeling his presence, isn't it? Into his presence where I enter now,
Mm.
feeling. It's a feeling thing. Like, how would you even connect to this friend? How do we connect to it? How do we connect to one another? We open to another, we feel each other. Yeah, we join in that field of where we become transformed in what's you, what's me, and where we join that relationship. Huh?
Yeah, that's
And
what is there already.
yeah, and we're just either open to it or not. And when we're not, then it's like we see separate beings. But when we join, and we immediately all one. The whole room is like this one container in which we fall in unity together.
Yeah.
Right, yes.
I love this next section. Who's ready?
It's
Yeah.
Kim.
No, Chantal.
Oh, sorry, Chantal.
Shanti.
No worries.
13:4.
I am the corrector of false thinking, because I lived among you as a thinking being. Think not that I was different than you, and you will realize that we are truly one in being with our Father. As you move into the world with the end of the time of separation and the beginning of the time of unity taking place around you, practice the beliefs that have been put forth in this treatise. Know that in the time of unity, the truth will be shared by all. Kim, you just take it away. Take us home.
Sorry, who?
Who?
You, Kim.
Oh, me. Oh, okay. Call upon your relationship with me to aid you, as I call upon you to assist me in calling all our brothers and sisters to their return to unity.
Wow. Amazing. Mm.
We call to one another in gratitude. This is the attitude of the wholehearted, the place from which all calls are sounded and received, the place where the true thinking of those united in mind and heart arises. Gratitude is the recognition of the state of grace in which you exist here and remain forever beyond all time and the passing of all form. It is an attitude of praise and thankfulness. Sorry, I just feel like crying.
The apology is accepted. Darling, cry away. My God, it's so beautiful.
Yeah. It is an attitude of praise and thankfulness that flows between us now. The light of heaven shines not down upon you, but is given and received in equal exchange by all who in creation exist together in oneness eternal. Forget not who you truly are, but forget not also to be in joy in your experience here. Remember that the seriousness with which you once looked at life is of the ego. Drape your persona in a mantle of peace and joy. Oh, that's nice, isn't it? Drape your persona in a mantle of peace and joy. Let who you are shine through the personal self who continues to walk this world a while longer. Listen for my voice as I guide you to your purpose here and linger with you in this time to end all time. We are here together in love, to share love. This is not such a frightening task. Let fear go and walk with me now. Our journey together is just beginning as we return to the premise put forth in a treatise on the art of thought, that of the elevation of form.
Oh. Beautiful. Mm. Beautiful. Mm.
This seems like an appropriate time to remind us why we're here in the world at this time.
Yes.
Why is that?
I don't know, I feel like we see so much anger and division and turmoil and hatred, and it's like we just have to walk like Jesus did, showing love. Can't fix it. I can just walk like Jesus did.
Mm.
And I feel that all time on earth is like that, not just like our so-called century or whatever it is, you know, whatever date it is. It's I think it just would be always like that here when you know, separate or think you're separate. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got the picture of walking hand in hand with my inner child of Christ. Within and without.
Guys, another beautiful morning.
Mm.
Mm. You're for sharing. Thank you. You're for sticking with it. See you next Saturday.
This is a highlight of my week, Cole. Always has been ever since it started.
You're precious. I'm so happy you're here, darling.
I'm so happy I'm here too.
Yeah. A long way back, eh? Since the Garden Academy, huh?
Yeah.
Where
It's a
is
long
your
way back.
We were near
Where's your
in Byron Bay, Australia. It was a Course of Miracle Academy. where we were doing Course in Miracles
Yeah.
full time.
What decade was that happening?
That was 90.
End of the 90s and beginning of the 2000s.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I arrived just at the end of 99.
Did you?
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
So I was only there for a couple of years, but boy, that was powerful couple of years, and intense and difficult and challenging but fantastic at the same time.
Imagine you do nothing else, just that. Wake up
wow.
in the morning and do the lessons of A Course in Miracles, and then have like session until midday, and then have a lunch, and then the rest. And then in the afternoon there'll be a little group going on of some kind, and in the evening we had Vespers, where we would just, just by the candle, we would just read some sections from the Course. Anything, anybody could read anything. It was like
6 days a week.
6 days a week. Tuesday was a day off.
Yep.
Sorry, where was this?
Byron Bay.
Byron Bay. There was one similar one in Wisconsin Dells. It was like the original home. Yeah.
So no one was working outside of that situation.
Say it again?
Because you're there full time, were you? So how did you
Miraculous.
live? Yes, if you weren't working, okay.
Somehow it all worked. We don't even know how.
Yeah. Wow.
Who started it, Cole?
Who started it? Where? In Wisconsin or here?
Here.
I think was it Ian Hamilton who started it here? No?
So what was Ted's association with it originally? Like, how did he come in?
Who?
Teddy.
Well, I think it was I guess he's just either master teacher told him or he invited himself. Maybe.
Right, so it was already here. He didn't set it up. It was already here.
Oh no, he didn't set it up at all.
Oh.
He came when it was already pretty set up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I think you've blocked my camera. It says you can't start your video because the host has stopped it.
Oh. You are.
Oh, that's better. We can see you again, Kat.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I did stop it because there was this dog. It was like the thing was on the floor and the dog was running up and down.
Oh, right. Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Like here concentrating, and there was this dog going from one place to another. So I'm like, well, if you're not here, I'll just
No,
camera.
fair enough. Yeah. Fair enough. Yeah.
I do that sometimes, and even in the morning group, sometimes people make noises they're not aware they're making.
Yeah.
So sometimes I just turn people off, like just mute them. They can turn themselves back on by sometimes if there is a strange noise they don't know they are making, or if they're just moving and they're not really present with us, then I just usually pause the camera. Otherwise, everybody gets disturbed by someone else's kind of like pleasures.
Fair enough.
I think it's fair enough.
It is fair enough. It's totally fair enough.
Yeah. Beautiful, guys. Wow, what a beautiful ending that was. Hey. Ooh. I think I'm gonna read that again. That's exquisite. call
Very
on your relationship with me to aid you, as I call upon you to assist me in calling all our brothers and sisters to a return to unity. My God, so beautiful.
Mm.
And we call to one another in gratitude. This is the attitude of the wholehearted, the place from which all calls are sounded and received, the place where the true thinking of those united in mind and heart arises. Oh my God, huh? Gratitude is recognition of the state of grace in which you exist here and remain forever beyond all time and the passing of all form. Passing of form. It is an attitude of praise and thankfulness that flows between us. The light of heaven shines down upon you, but is given and received in equal exchange by all who in creation exist together in oneness eternal. I mean, hello.
Ooh.
Whoa, it's so beautiful. My God.
Huh.
I can only melt reading that. Beautiful.
Well, that's why I was thinking of the inner, like a different perception of the inner child as being the inner friend, you know, the Christ within me. And when I find that, then I go forth with other people in that state of unity and relationship. But it was, I don't know, there was a little shift in me today with the inner friendship.
Yeah.
Somehow, you know, with Christ. Yeah.
Is that really a tiny little choice? Like you either see a person as a person or you see them as Christ. And when you see them as Christ, you can only see that with your own Christ. So that intent to see everyone as
Right.
ignites in you that part of your heart that sees and there doesn't use these eyes to look. Simply see Christ in you, and then eventually sees only that. That's why I like this when we do these practices, when we just go like pick a person and say, hello, I see the Christ in you. I'm with you in light, honey. You know, make it really personal and make it really real us. It's always beautiful to watch how people lead up. People lead up being invited to this space of wholeness. Yeah. Like I say, hey, Alison, I share the Christ.
That's the cool thing.
Yeah, hang on a second.
When it's inner and outer, like sometimes that will come from without, like from another person. I will see in them the Christ, and then I will, I don't know, feel it within me. And sometimes I feel it in me.
And then the more you see it in them, the more it ignites in you.
Yes.
The amazing design. You know?
Giving and receiving, the source and the, you know, and the receptor. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. It's like it's that invitation. Like, hey guys, joining Christ, you know?
Whoa.
Yes. And then it's shown to you, like suddenly something begins to happen. With that intent to heal comes the healing, comes the vision. Vision is not imagining. Vision is an inner experience that kind of begins to vibrate, like he says at the very end, somewhere it says like it ignites this elevated self of form. Yeah. So you begin to vibrate differently. It begins to reverberate you as Like when you see the truth, you're not going to just sit there like a vegetable. You're going to get ignited. If you're sitting there like a vegetable, that means you're still looking through your eyes and judging and thinking thick thoughts.
Mm.
Yeah. Anyway, darlings, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone. Yeah.
Thank
Thank
you
you,
all.
everyone. It's
Thank you, everyone.
Bless
a
you.
blessing to be able to come here every week. Thank you.
Yeah,
Blessing. It's lovely
yeah,
to
I'm grateful. Yeah.
Everyone,
I
thank
know.
you.
yeah.
Bye.
Bye.